In the last video, we have designed this GUI code using wxFormBuilder, and if I run it, this is what we have. So in this video, we are going to look at the logic aspect of the code. So the logic here is very simple. Is when we click, or when a user click on this button, it should collect whatever selection that is here and then print it here and also on the console. So going back to the wxFormBuilder, we need to make some couple of changes to make our life easier. The first thing we would like to make is to change the names of some of these widgets. This will make the coding, the logic coding easier, because we are going to be making use of the names in our code. So changing it to a more friendly name will make our life easier. So the first changes we are going to make is for the static text. So make sure the static text is selected, then go to the object property and then change the name. Here, instead of this arbitrary name, I'm going to change the name to a more friendly name called hello text. And as you can see, the name has changed even on the object tree. The next change I'm going to make is that of the choice. So instead of calling it m_choice1, I will change it to a more friendly name, such as maybe continent choice or simply world choice. Then for the print button, also I'm going to change the name to a more friendly name. Instead of m_1, I can simply change it to print button. Print button, just like that. So now, remember that this is the button we are going to click to trigger our event. So I will need to go to the event tab here for the button, and then set the kind of event I want. So here I say on click. When the user click on this button, it should collect whatever is here and print it here. So the event I'm looking for is on button click. So here I'm going to name a function that will be called whenever the button is clicked. So on button click, you should call this function. The name of the function is going to be print func. So I have not created the function yet. I'm only naming it under the events tab. So basically, this is the changes we need to make. Then I can now save and then regenerate my script. So if I go back to the script file, I can see that a function called print func has been added. Actually, this is called a method, not a function, since the code being generated is an object-oriented code. So forgive me for calling it a function. So let's add the minimum code, then run the script. So if I click on the button, up to now nothing happens. This is because we are yet to define the kind of tags the function will execute. We have only defined the function. So here, instead of event loop, event skip, which is an equivalent of pass statement in Python, I'm going to delete that and then add a simple statement to print hello world, just like that. So if I run the script and then if I click on this button, you can see it's printing hello world on my console, which is perfect. So it shows that the function is working. So however, this is not the purpose of this application. The purpose of this application is to, when a user click on this button, it will grab whatever text is here and then print it here, not on the console the way we have it now. So this is just for debugging purpose. At least you have seen that the function is now working. So in order to achieve our logic, you need to go back to wxFormBuilder and recall the names we use for our controls or widgets. Remember, this text, this static text is called hello text. This WX choice is called world choice. And then of course the print button, I call it the print button. These are just friendly names that we can call in our code. So first thing first, when a user click on this button, you should grab whatever text is here, whatever text is selected here, and then print it here. So we need a way to grab whatever text that is here. And this is a WX choices. So a simple Google search for WX choices will lead you to the documentation link. And from the documentation page, when you go through it, you will see that there are different methods that could be called or that are associated with WX choice control. So the one we are interested in is the one that will collect whatever option that is selected and then store it in a variable for us for later use, that we can print it on the static text here. So going back to the documentation page, the particular method I'm looking for, after some googling and research about the methods, I found out that the method I'm looking for is called getStringSelection, which is the equivalent of getString or getSelection in the latest version of wxPython. Recall that the tutorial is based on WX Classic. So the equivalent of getStringSelection, getSelection is getString selection in WX Classic. So if I go back to the code, here is how I can implement it. So I'm going to create an object that will hold whatever text is here. So I'm going to call the text, or call the variable choice text. That's the name of the object. Then call the self method, call the self object, since we are the function or the method is inside a class. Then the name of this choice, then the name of this choice control. Remember that the name is world choice. So self dot world choice then get string selection, and I'm storing it in this object. So here I can easily bring the print down here for testing purpose. Then I will say print hello. So instead of saying world, I will now concatenate the choice text that was selected. So if I run the code, if I click on print, it prints out hello world on the console. If I select Africa, click on print, print out hello Africa on the console. If I click North America, print, it print out North America on the console. So here's what is happening. I created an object and then assign it whatever text that is selected here, and then I'm printing it in concatenation with hello string. So that is good. We are getting closer to where we are going to. Remember that our target or our mission is to grab this text and then put it here. So now that we're able to grab whatever text is here, the next hurdle is for us to edit this particular static text. So if you Google for wx static text, you also get to the documentation page. So from the documentation, you will find out that you can actually edit, dynamically edit the static text within your code. So here I'm grabbing whatever text is here and then adding it or updating the static text. So and the particular method I'm looking for is called setLabel. So here the setLabel method is what will be used to update the static text in wxPython. So now going back to the code, since I've been able to grab the choice option, now I would like to edit the static text. So here I'll type self, then the name of the static text control, which in this case is called hello text. So I'll just copy it or type it exactly the way it is, hello text, then dot. Remember that the method to set the label is called setLabel, and it is typed in camel case. So setLabel method, then within the parentheses I will now define what I want. So here is going to be hello, then I will concatenate this particular choice I grabbed earlier on. Then the print statement, I can now comment it out because it's no longer needed. So if everything is okay, when I run the code, whatever text is selected here should be printed on the static text. So world is selected, print hello world. If I select North America, print hello North America. If I select Africa, print hello Africa. So this is exactly the mission of this particular app. Here we call the self, then the name of the static text, which is hello text, then we set the label to whatever we want, and text choices is the object that is holding the text that is within the choices widget. So, but there is a problem. If I run the code again, if I print hello world, print hello Europe, you can see that after the print button is clicked, the layout changes. The text is no longer centralized. The text changes to the, or get aligned to the left hand side. So here we need to call some couple of functions. After some googling around, I discovered that there are methods that can be used to reset the layout after it has been dynamically changed. So one of the method is the layout method. Then there are others such as the fit. So we need to refresh the frame to go back to its original state. And the original state is the static text is centralized. So when it is dynamically changed, we need to refresh the frame or reset the layout so that it will go back to the central position. And this is done simply by calling the methods self layout. So if I run the code now, if I select my choice, hello, North America, the text is still centralized. Or if I select world, print hello world, the text is centralized. It doesn't align to the left any longer. That is the function of this layout. So, and some other methods I also find out that can serve the same purpose are the fit, self.fit method. If I select Africa, print, this actually fits or resize the frame to fit the size of the selection, just like that. Remember that we don't have a minimum frame size for this frame. What we have was the maximum frame size. So if you have set the minimum frame size for this, the fit method will not work in this case. So self.fit and self.layout are the two methods I discovered that can overcome or help you solve the dynamically changing of the layout. But in my opinion, self.layout is the best in this situation. So with our self.layout set, whenever we change the content of the frame dynamically, it still remain in its original position after calling self.layout. So basically, this is what we intend to achieve with this particular application. So as an exercise, I would like you to transform this particular GUI into this. So this is what you have so far. I would like you to transform it into this, where you're going to have an icon on the titles bar, and then below the titles bar you add a menu bar that will carry different menu operations. So this print, reset, exit are basically these functions for the buttons that are implemented in the menu. And then you can view the, under the help you can view help, and also you can view about the application. So at the end of the day, you are going to transform this existing application into this. So from here we are moving here. That is the exercise for you. So we are transforming from this current application to this, and basically what you need to do is to add an icon to the titles bar, add a menu bar, then add a background color to the application, then add 2 extra buttons at the bottom of the application. So this button, for example, when you click on it, it quits the app, while this resets the app, and this does the usual printing of the app. So the solution is available for you on this web address, or you can contact me directly using this email to get a copy of the solution for this exercise.